Now, speaking of all things European, the woman who, in the normal course of things, would be at the centre of the EU's response to Brexit is tonight locked in talks to try and secure her own government and future. The German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, still hasn't managed to sort out a coalition more than 100 days after her party won the general election. The country seems to be getting along all right, so it's tempting to conclude that no government is good government, but obviously we shouldn't go there. The pressure is on, though, because the deadline for a deal runs out tomorrow.
A visibly tired Angela Merkel heads into the final day of make-or-break negotiations, for once not about the future of Europe, but her own future as Germany's leader. For 4 months she's been trying to form a new coalition government. The only option left on the table now is to persuade her greatest rival, former head of the European Parliament Martin Schulz, to allow his Social Democrats to govern alongside her. A solution, she says, probably correctly, most people want.
It'll
be a tough day, she said, but I'm going into it with a lot of energy because the people expect us to sort this out. How different this is from that night in September when she seemed set to become the longest-serving chancellor in post-war German history. If there now has to be a new election, her position as the unassailable, undisputed leader of Germany will be precarious indeed. She's far from finished, but for once, vulnerable.
She's still the dominating figure in her party and to an extent in this country. But if this fails for a second time around, she is in really, really heavy weather.
Is Germany ready to let go of Mutti, of Angela Merkel and all that she represents?
Well, the people still want her. They're not quite yet ready to let her go. But, you know, could the Republic survive it? Yes, certainly.
And those we asked on Berlin's rain-swept streets this afternoon weren't necessarily looking for change, just for an end to the political uncertainty.
It was a kind of disaster, so we hope they get somehow together because they tried it already.
Yeah, it sucks a bit, to be honest, but yeah, what can you do?
I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. There's missing something. We have to act, we have to react. There are so many problems in Europe and in the world.
For the press and the protesters outside the talks, it may be a long, long night. The final deadline is tomorrow morning. All the indications are that things aren't going well in there, which means that Angela Merkel is likely to be here negotiating all night long. That is how important getting this deal is to her. And if this turns out to be one deal that even she can't do, Germans will be waking up tomorrow to a very different political landscape. James Mates, News at 10, Berlin.